Bonjour classe, salut. Today we're going to do the sequence of tenses and indirect discourse. Indirect discourse is basically describing what someone said. So we do this every day. You know, my mom said that I should not go out after a certain period, or she told me that he was in the student center, but he really wasn't. Those are just a couple of English examples. It looks complicated, but I'll go over a couple times to make sure we're understanding what we're doing, specifically with the homework that you're going to do tonight in the CVG, Cahier de vocabulaire et grammaire. So basically when you're reporting what someone said, you're going to have two sentences to use the indirect discourse. You have the main sentence or main clause and the dependent clause or the second part of the sentence. All right? We want to make sure that the sequence of tenses is agreeing, and it's very important to do this in French. It's not always the same in English, but I'll describe a little bit more of that later in the video. For now, we're going to start with the present tense main clause, and they actually give you an example of the present tense. Le roi dit, the king says. This is present tense. And what happens when the main clause, or the first part of the sentence, is in the passé composé. Le roi a dit, the king said. All right? We'll start with when the main clause, or the first sentence, is in the present tense. Your options for the second tense are present tense, futur simple, or future tense, or the simple future tense, passé composé, or imparfait. Okay? So I'll say them in French and then say what they mean in English. They have them here, but just for your ears. Le roi dit qu'il travaille. The king says he works. Le roi dit qu'il travaillerait. Le roi dit qu'il travaillera. So the king says that he will work. Le roi dit qu'il a travaillé. The king said he worked. Le roi dit qu'il travaillait. The king said he was working. Okay? Now, if I take this same set of sentences, so if I have le roi dit qu'il travaille, if I put this in the past tense, so instead of saying le roi dit, I say le roi a dit, the present tense would change to imparfait. The future tense would change to the conditional. And the passé composé, or imparfait, would change to plus que parfait, which we've just studied. Okay? So here's what they would sound like. Le roi a dit qu'il travaillait. The king said he was working. Le roi a dit qu'il travaillerait. The king said he would work. Le roi a dit qu'il avait travaillé. The king said that he had worked. Okay? So again, these are paired. So when you have the past tense, these are the pairings that go with the past tense. Imperfect, conditional tense, plus que parfait, or plus que parfait. All right? Present tense, we have present tense, futur simple, passé composé, imparfait. Okay? So if you could put these two boxes on top of each other, so for instance, I would put this next to this one, that's how it would translate. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Here's a little bit more of a formulaic way of looking at it. So, le roi dit qu'il travaille, present tense. Le roi dit qu'il travaillera, future simple. Le roi dit qu'il a travaillé. So these are the transitions. So you see that the present tense will change to imparfait. The future simple will change to the conditional. The passé composé and imparfait will change to plus que parfait. And that will occur once the main clause changes to the past tense. Le roi a dit. Okay? If you want to use or find the conditional forms, the plus que parfait, basically all forms of any verb, you can type in the verb, go to wordreference.com and do a French to English translation. If you put the verb in French and click on the verb, so I put in their verb, travailler, work. Okay, you can scroll down and it has conj, which is to conjugate. If you click on that, you can actually see all the conjugations of the particular verb. Present tense, je travaille. Je travaillais, imparfait, passé simple, which we've seen. They also have plus que parfait, passé composé, the subjunctive, which we haven't got to yet, but here's the conditional here. Conditional tense, and of course they have future simple here as well. So every form of the verb you want. So if there's any verb in question, you can put in any verb, dire, for instance, and it'll give you all of the conjugations that we've seen and have not seen. Then they even highlight in blue some of the irregularities that exist. So if it's irregular, you won't see any blue. If it's irregular, you will see some changes, and they highlight that with the blue. So just to return to the concept of indirect discourse, is quoting someone or saying something without actually using quotes. So here they use the actual quotes. The president said, "Our army will defeat the enemy." And without using quotes, you would take that away. The president said, their army will defeat the enemy. You're not going to use direct quotes. So in French as in English, you can use the similar construction. Le président a dit, and use a comma to do the direct discourse. Notre armée réussira à battre l'ennemi. Okay, and you see their quotations are a little bit different. These little arrows here to indicate quotations, different than our English counterparts. And then, of course, they give you the indirect discourse form. Le président a dit que, they use a que there instead of a comma. Le président a dit que notre armée réussirait à battre l'ennemi. So here in the direct, where you use the future tense, we go to the indirect discourse, passé composé, all right, and then the future turns into conditional, réussirait. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Good luck with the homework. Bon courage. Bonne soirée.